So, I heard that you had a dump him list, but do you have a keep him list?
Ah, I love it. You know what? I don't. Let's be honest. I don't have a keep him list, but I always see, because this is the thing. Girls know what's right. Guys, you know what's right. Deep down, you know what's right, but you kind of play with what's bad. It's always gray, because in those relationships, he would flirt with girls in front of me, and I would be like, did he really just flirt with that girl in front of me? And I'm like, no, that's crazy, and I'd shove it under the rug. Or I would constantly justify the bad behavior because I thought I was in love with him. You know what I mean? Like, we like to justify things because we think we can fix them. I thought I could fix him. I thought our love was stronger. It really wasn't. I was fooling myself, you know? And it's easier to know what you should not because it's already written in our heart what is okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Yeah. Like, deep down, we know what's right. Deep down, we know what we should be doing. Deep down, you know if you should be breaking off that relationship. You know, deep down, should I be lying to my parents about this relationship? Yeah, probably not. That's probably a bad sign. We know the red flags, you know, and I think it's stronger in us to hear that red flag or to know the red flag and to just kind of get rid of it. But if it's a clear guideline, like the dump him list, like, you know, okay, if he's looking at pornography, if he's hitting you, if he's controlling you, that's a problem. Because a lot of girls can justify those things. But if you know what you shouldn't be doing, shouldn't have, I think it's easier to dump them.
Alright. So, like, how about characteristics? Like, can you name, like, 3? Or you can cite some of Jason's traits. Like,
Okay.
what were, like, the top 3 things that maybe you noticed about him? Or, like, a girl should look for in a guy na? And then she would say na, she would really consider this person.
Okay, I'll do one better. So, when I had my big conversion, okay, I realized that I was dating all of these loser guys because as a woman, I did not know what I wanted in a man. I mean, how many women really just sit down and really think about what do they want in a man? And I think that's where my confusion was coming from, because when those sweet-smelling, smooth-talking guys would come my way, I was like, oh, he's cute, let's date, let's see how this works, you know? That's typically kind of how it works. And it's a little distorted because we never really sit down and take it seriously. So that's what I did. I sat in a chapel, I got a notepad, adoration, and I wrote down, like, okay, what is Crystalina's dream guy? You know, I did. And I just kept writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. And obviously, some of those things were, he has to be a man of God, you know, and he's not gonna be addicted to drugs and drinking, simple. He's not gonna be controlling, but that he's gonna make me want to become a better woman. Like, he's gonna want to encourage me and make me better. And you know if a person's making you better, like having you reach for heaven or dragging you down to hell. You know if the person's doing that, right? And I kept writing and writing this list, and it came to 60 things that I wanted in a guy. And I'm thinking, wow, I didn't realize how high maintenance I was. I'm so high maintenance.
I thought my list was long.
And I'm like, you know what, Lord? I know this will never happen. 60 things, that's crazy, but you know what, this is cute, and I kept it. And I slowly started dating Jason, and check. And by the time we got to the altar, I had checked off every single one of them except one. And what was that one? If he can be a good father. Obviously, I could know that, but obviously he was an amazing father because he had all the qualities. Now, this is the key. God knows the longings of your heart because he put them there for you. And if you just take the time, take it seriously, sit down, write out. And it's not silly, it's not crazy. You're not setting your standards too high. You are a daughter of the King of Heaven. Your standards are not going to be too high. And if they are, there's a problem for that person, not you. You're not the problem. Because there's a reason God put the longings of your heart there. Write them down. And I always encourage young women, go find an amazing journal that you just love and start writing down. Really think of who your perfect guy would be. And obviously, it's not going to be everything. It's not always going to be like Jason had all of them. It's not always going to be like that, but you know what it is you want, to take that seriously and write it down.
Right. I just noticed when you said you ticked off the items in the list. You
Yes.
said that it was only until you were going to get married to Jason when you finally ticked off almost every single thing. So I guess that means that it's really a work in progress for both of you guys.
Absolutely. It is a work in progress, because as you go on in your relationship, you slowly are really getting to know someone. Because in the beginning, it's kind of surfacey, right? With anybody, any relationship you have, it's kind of surfacey, and as you get to know them, you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And then after you get married, it's a whole new level of intimacy, because even now, Jason and I have been married 10 years. 10 years, okay? And even now, I'm still getting to know him. It's beautiful, like the levels of intimacy that there are in a relationship and in a marriage, and when you're courting, just everything. It's really beautiful how God unfolds it. And certain things shouldn't be unfolded or revealed until you are married. But it truly is a process. And there is no way I could have known if he was going to be a good father until, well, he was a father and I saw it for myself, you know? But obviously he showed the amazing qualities that he was going to be one. But really, as a woman, I would just encourage you and all women out there to take who you date seriously. Don't just date anyone that's going to give you attention, or just use that person just so you're not lonely on that Friday night, but really take it seriously, because I realized, this is the thing, after I knew my list, I knew the longings of my heart. After you know that, you can't really go back from that, because it's like, if this person doesn't have at least the basic qualities that I want in a man, I know I have no business dating him, right? And so if you know that, you really just know to keep that person at bay, because in the end, you're going to be unhappy. They might just end up using you, and it's not worth it. So it's kind of a wall of protection that you build for yourself too, because you know what you want, you set the standard, and if you have to lower that standard to be with someone, what does that say right there? Something's definitely wrong. You should never have to lower yourself to be with anyone. Okay?
Okay, so basically you're telling us that if you think that this person is not really somebody that you would consider marrying, you have no business
Dating them?
that person.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Sounds pretty harsh, but it's the truth.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a dead end, right? Don't you think? Because if you can't imagine you're going to spend the rest of your life with that person, what's the point? You can be friends. Oh my gosh, be friends. Enjoy each other's company. That's great. But if you know it's not going to go beyond that, it doesn't make sense. Kind of a game, right? And sometimes you get hurt in that. And it's not worth it.
That's a good point.